Welcome to this festive episode of In the Mix, kicking off the holiday season with this inspirational episode, taking you on a ride, making stops all over New York City at some of the most iconic people, places, and things. This is one ride you won't want to miss. ITM goes one-on-one with some of the world's most inspirational icons of an era. Dr. Ruth, Fonda, Steinem, Turner, Tomlin, and more. Truly powerful, game-changing, iconic individuals who paved the way for women's rights and equality worldwide. That's all coming up right now. You are in the moment. You are in the mix. I'm standing here in the mix with Chris Rock.
I'm Larry King, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Kelly Ripa, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Matt Lauer, and you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Kathy Lee. And I'm Hoda. And you're watching In the Mix.
I'm Steve Carell, and you're watching In the Mix.
It's Nick Cannon, and I'm In the Mix.
In the Mix.
Taxi. Union Square, please. Welcome to this magical episode of In the Mix. I'm your host, Gina Jordan, aka your tour guide. Now, our first stop on our iconic New York City holiday destinations is the Union Square Holiday Market. From iconic New York City places to iconic New York City people. She's one spunky 85-year-old world-renowned sex therapist, Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
You don't seem to be able to get an erection?
Born Carola Ruth Siegel in Frankfurt, Germany, Dr. Ruth is truly an inspirational icon of an era who's endured catastrophic events and survived. After losing both of her parents in the Holocaust, Dr. Ruth joined the Jewish army and worked her way up to a sniper. In 1956, Dr. Ruth came to the United States and went on to become an outspoken advocate for sex education and the pro-choice movement.
Sex is supposed to be exciting.
Now 85, this dynamo only just gave up extreme sports and still goes out every night, showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. I am so excited to be sitting here with one of my idols, and of course, an inspirational icon to us all. Put your hands together for Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Woo! Hello.
Very nice.
Thank you so much for being with us today. It's so exciting to have you on In the Mix. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I like that idea of the mix.
It's kind of sexy, the two X's. We kind of like it.
No, about sex only I talk. You talk about the mix.
You do know a lot about sex. How did you go from a sniper to sex talk? How does that happen?
By chance, I came out from Israel. I was a sniper. Watch out how you talk to me. I can still put 5 bullets in the red circle. I don't do it anymore. And when I came to this country, I did get a position at Planned Parenthood of New York City. And then I was very fortunate to be trained by Dr. Helen Singer-Kaplan at Cornell Medical Center. So now I had the academic background of knowing how to teach sex education, and now the clinical background of how to deal with people's problems. And then there was a radio program for 10 years, and later 450 television shows. And they knew that it was me because of the accent.
Becoming Dr. Ruth is an off-Broadway show right now.
Not off-Broadway, near Broadway.
Near Broadway. It's a near Broadway show, Becoming Dr. Ruth. Did you know that this project was happening behind the scenes way before it happened?
No,
No?
God forbid. I had to have control. I had to know exactly what goes in and what is left out. But I have to tell you, there was a show by Marc Saint-Germain called Freud's Last Session. And since I'm a widow living in New York, I'm out every night. And I went to see the show more than once. The fellow Martin, who played Freud, said, Dr. Ruth, I want to come to your office. I said, tomorrow. I said, fantastic. Freud has a sexual problem. I will help Freud. He didn't have a sexual problem. He said that the playwright, Marc Saint-Germain from Canada, wants to write a play about me. First I said no, then I met with him. 2 seconds later I said, yes, Marc, do it. And now it's near Broadway, and it's going very, very well.
We actually have a clip, Becoming Dr. Ruth, so let's look at the clip.
Papa must have felt me staring. He turned and saw me. and smiled.
I was short and I was fast, so I was used as a messenger because there was less of me to shoot at. Whipped cream or chocolate sauce. Whatever you prefer, rub it on his penis and see if you like it then.
Did you see how she dances with Shirley Temple? Because when I lived in the orphanage in Switzerland, coming out of Nazi Germany from Frankfurt am Main, I used to love Shirley Temple. Who knows, maybe it's one of the reasons I came to the United States, and she dances with her beautifully.
Now, Deborah Jo Rupp, how did she get casted for the part?
I did not know her, but I did know that Marc Saint-Germain had her in mind when he wrote the play, and she's just perfect.
She is perfect.
What is very interesting, Gina, is she has captured my spirit. I do go from the very sad experiences of having been an orphan. I tell some stories about the orphanage in Switzerland. I tell some stories about my life on the kibbutz in first Palestine and then became Israel, my years in Paris, and she has really captured it beautifully. Fantastic. And we have become very close friends.
Oh, that's fantastic. Did you actually spend time with her before she went on stage to do the part? Did she research with you?
I did talk to her a lot on the phone. I also spent time with her. And one day she said, I have to see how you walk. So she brought a camera and I walked. And it turns out that since she's also short, not as short as me, we walked the same way, a little bit fast. Now I have to tell you, Gina, something very interesting. When I came to this country, they told me you have to take speech lessons. I made $1 an hour. I couldn't pay for speech lessons. Deborah Jo Rupp now had to take a speech coach to learn my accent. She does it beautifully.
She does do it beautifully. Very exciting. And then you have a show that's also on Shalom TV. Tell us about your show.
So Shalom TV is particularly geared to Jewish people. A 15-minute segment called, I'm blushing when I say it, The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. And it's going to be about sex, because that's what everybody expects me, but mainly about relationships. And they're showing it Mondays, and then they're showing it many times during the week.
It's absolutely incredible to me. You had said that you're a widow and you go out every night. How do you, where does all this energy come from?
It's a very good question. I always had a lot of energy. I do sleep 8 hours a night. I try to eat properly. I try to go hiking. Not skiing anymore. I used to be a wonderful skier.
We heard you did contact sports. What type of sports did you do?
No, mainly skiing, because I say, come Gina, I tell you that, skiers make the best lovers, because they don't sit on a couch, they go out, they take a risk, and they wiggle their behind, and it's a wonderful way to meet a partner.
You have a beautiful family yourself.
I have 2 gorgeous children. I have the best 4 grandchildren in the entire world. When I am with them, or when I look at their pictures, I know that Hitler, who didn't want me to be alive, or any other Jew, Hitler lost and I won.
Absolutely.
Beautiful grandchildren, and they love me.
Well, you're very fortunate to have Dr. Ruth as your grandmother. Well, one of the things we like to do here on In the Mix is gift giving. We're very giving here on In the Mix, and this holiday season, we thought it would be fun with Dr. Ruth to play a little intimate holiday gift ideas. So when it comes to intimate gift giving during the holiday season, we'd love some of your advice. Our first intimate gift idea, vibrators. Here we go. So this first one is exactly that. Vibrators, and there's so many to choose from.
I'm not against any of these. I endorsed an aerosolator. It's like a vibrator, but it aerosolates and brings a woman to sexual satisfaction, but to be able to concentrate into the sensation of being pleasured. Make sure that you are satisfied, because you will have, psychologically speaking, a different outlook on life.
Another holiday intimate gift idea, lubrication. Our questions were oil versus water-based. We need your help on this.
Which one? It doesn't matter. I'm all for especially older women. Any woman after menopause, not to engage in that activity that I usually talk about with a not well lubricated vagina, because then it's painful, and then she's going to say it hurts. Who needs it? So I want her to use a lubricant.
Our next intimate holiday gift idea is a book. 50 Shades of Grey was one of the books we said maybe you should read or give as
Oh,
an
no,
intimate
this
gift.
is much better.
50 Shades of Grey.
I didn't want to do Sex for Dummies because I'm a professor. I teach at Yale, at Princeton, now at Columbia. I said, I don't talk to dummies. Then I went to look at the dummy books. This book is out in 27 languages. I just got a brand new copy in Turkish. I'm holding it over my head in front of the Kremlin in Moscow. When it came out in France, the French put a condom in the back of the cover. Not to use that condom, because that condom is not a good condom.
We thought that there would be two books, and one of them was 50 Shades of Grey, and one was your book.
Of course I read it.
Ah.
God forbid that you would have told me, Dr. Ruth, did you see Shades of Grey? Am I going to say no? What I make the point about this book, people used to say that women don't get aroused by watching sexually explicit material or reading sexually explicit books. Women do get aroused by sexually explicit material and by reading sexually arousing novels. And I'm all for that.
Our last but not least intimate holiday gift, music.
Fantastic, because I do believe that music, but not while lovemaking, not even Frank Sinatra, not Elton John's, not any of these,
No Led Zeppelin?
Not while lovemaking, either before or after. While lovemaking, I want you to concentrate to your own sensation and for your partner, what you can do to make it more
What if you don't
pleasant.
want to concentrate on your partner? What if you want to drown them out?
Then
a
you
little?
have to come to my office and talk about it.
Okay, there you go. Now, to go and see the show, 407 West 43rd Street, near Broadway, okay? Not off Broadway, very close to Broadway. A fantastic thing to do for the holiday season. And of course, Shalom TV, to go see your show. This was an absolute honor. Absolute honor to have Dr. Ruth on today. Everybody, let's give her a huge hand, please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was such an honor to be able to go one-on-one with the legendary Dr. Ruth. Who knew she was a sniper, right? Now here we are at another one of New York City's most iconic holiday destinations, Columbus Circle. Still to come, we've got a lot more iconic destinations during the holiday season and iconic people. Jane Fonda, Gloria Steinem, and Kathleen Turner. Don't move, In the Mix will be right back.
In the mix.
Just point.
With nowhere to
Just draw.
to turn.
Just share.
You saw me
As you
coming
naturally would.
and showed me
Just
how
point.
much I still
Just draw.
have to learn.
Just share.
And the odds
Smart. Inspired by you. LG Cinema 3D Smart TV.
This episode of In the Mix is presented by LG. Life's good. Catering for this episode of In the Mix is provided by Delmonico's Kitchen, located at 207 West 36th Street and 7th Avenue in New York City.
In the mix.
Welcome back to this festive episode of In the Mix. I'm your host, Gina Jordan, taking you on a little ride, making stops, visiting some of the most iconic holiday destinations. Right now, we are right off of Central Park in front of the famous Plaza Hotel. Now for these next few interviews with inspirational icons of an era, In the Mix recently took a field trip to the Women's Media Awards Gala, where I had the opportunity to interview several iconic ladies that helped put me right here on this red carpet. The Women's Media Center was founded in 2005 by Gloria Steinem, Jane Fonda, and Robin Morgan to ensure that women's stories are told and their voices are heard.
As we say, if you can't see it, you can't be it.
We have many different programs that help address the disparity between men and women in the media.
I think this organization really shows what it's like
to be supported and to be transported by other women.
We just have to have the guts to get out there to be able to tell our stories.
I get to work amazingly. I get to say this out loud with Jane Fonda. We're both on the board of V-Day, and I adore her and think she's absolutely remarkable, and I love what she's done with this organization. We have been able to meet Gloria Steinem because of it.
The name Gloria Steinem is synonymous with women's rights, unarguably one of the most iconic members of the women's movement, who's dedicated her life to making sure a woman's voice has a right to be heard since the 1960s.
Our dreams are shaped by the media. There were so few women behind the camera making decisions, and there's still only 3% who are making the what gets covered decision.
What was it that you were able to grasp onto in the media when you were younger?
Aside from reading Little Women as a very small child, I didn't see that. I didn't see groups of women otherwise in the media. So we see it a little bit now.
Is there anything else that you were interested in your life that you wanted to do?
Yes, I didn't understand that I didn't have to play a conventional feminine role for many years because of my age. That was, all that there was. So I thought about who I wanted to marry. I wanted to marry what I wanted to become.
As my mom would say, and she's a baby boomer, she would say, her parents would say, you be a lawyer, you be the doctor, you don't have to marry one.
It only happened when the women's movement came along. It didn't really happen before then.
You were very much behind the women's movement.
Part of it. I mean, a movement is not one person, believe me.
Gloria Steinem is being modest, but that's okay. You could certainly retire at this point. You could go off to an island potentially, relax with your life, do nothing. Why is it that you feel it's still important that you want to support and get the word out?
What would I retire from? Life? I love this. I love what I do. I mean, I've never had a job. I've always been a freelancer, a writer, a speaker. I care about what I do. So asking me why I don't retire is really like asking me why I don't just stop living.
When Gloria Steinem asked this next inspirational icon to join the Women's Media Center, this is such an absolute honor to be standing here next to you, seriously.
Here too.
The Academy Award winner admitted she was a tad bit apprehensive to get on board. A little birdie told me that back in the day when you first talked about being involved in an organization like this, you joked around and said, well, there's no men involved. Does that mean we don't like men?
Long ago, eons ago, in my early 30s, up until then, I had thought that the women's movement meant that we didn't like men and that we wanted a matriarchy. It took me a while into my early 30s before I realized that it's not about matriarchy, it's about democracy. It's not about not liking men, it's about making life easier and safer for men by creating parity, equality between women and men.
Now, the Women's Media co-founder and Academy Award winner Jane Fonda is a world-renowned advocate for the cause.
We're trying to level the playing field because the problem is if you don't see women making the decisions and telling their stories equally with men, then women feel left out, and they're not even conscious of it. You have to see it to be it. We have to see ourselves in the stories that are told on the media to know that we matter, and that's what we're trying to do.
Born into Hollywood royalty, the famous Fonda family, Miss Fonda has been an avid activist since the 60s. Yet some may say Jane is far from the stereotypical feminist. Fans may recall her 1968 iconic role in Barbarella.
A good many dramatic situations begin with screaming.
In the early 80s, the well-known actress prancer-sized around America in tights and leg warmers, ultimately creating a global fashion trend and fitness empire. Now Jane is taking her politics on screen with an Emmy Award-nominated role on HBO's The Newsroom and in Lee Daniels' The Butler, where she plays Nancy Reagan.
Not as a butler, Cecil. I'm inviting you as a guest.
Fonda, an inspirational icon to millions, still finds the time to support other women in the media. On a lighter note, I wanted to show you, I know you have a katan, and so do I, and our katans are actually related to each other.
You gotta be kidding. Oh.
So that's Ava. That's Ava Bear. And I know your baby means a lot, and she means so much to me. And a lot of people.
She's really cute. Not as cute as mine, but she's really cute.
What do you like to do in your downtime when you're not traveling?
I'm writing a novel.
Oh,
so.
my God. Fantastic. Well, it was an absolute honor to interview the one and only Jane Fonda. But Jane, I have to respectfully disagree. my baby Catan Ava is one of the most cutest in the entire world. Now, if we're going to talk about iconic holiday destinations, how about FAO Schwarz? Still to come, we have more inspirational icons of an era, Kathleen Turner and Lily Tomlin, plus one of the most iconic Christmas trees in the world. Don't move. In the Mix, we'll be right back.
In the Mix.
Tune into In the Mix on WeTV and win big Thursday, December 26th at 7:30 a.m. Watch some of your favorite celebrities reveal their own holiday traditions this season.
It's a tradition that me and my Nana make together.
You eat turkey at least twice a year.
Stockings, that's the first thing. Open the stockings.
Now it's your turn to win big and carry on your favorite holiday traditions with a little help from your friends at In the Mix and LG. Tell In the Mix why you need to win big this season to carry on your holiday traditions. Enter ITM's Carry On contest online to win a brand new LG French door refrigerator, an LG 47-inch 3D smart TV, or an LG G2 smartphone. Go to InTheMixShow.com to enter ITM's Carry On Holiday Traditions contest with LG. Submit your entries by December 19th. Then tune into ITM Thursday, December 26th at 7:30 a.m. on WeTV to find out if you're a grand prize winner.
In the Mix.
Welcome back to this festive, sparkly episode of In the Mix. I'm your host, Gina Jordan, aka your guide on a tour stopping in some of the most iconic holiday destinations in New York City. Here we are at 57th Street and 5th Avenue at the world-renowned shopping store Bergdorf Goodman. Now, Bergdorf's is known this time of year for the most spectacular holiday windows, and this year they're themed Holidays on Ice. Let's get back to those inspirational icons of an era over at the Women's Media Awards Gala. When we talk about inspirational icons of an era, the host of the Women's Media Center Gala this season definitely makes the cut. Comedian, actress Lily Tomlin.
And she put a Band-Aid on my knee, but it didn't help because you cannot put a Band-Aid on your feelings.
Tomlin, aka Edith Ann, has been making audiences laugh for the past 40 years. Tomlin got her big break in the early 70s, starring on the hit comedy sketch show Laugh-In, alongside an all-star ensemble.
One ring-a-ding-ding. Two ring-a-ding-ding.
Tomlin went on to have award-winning success across the board. In all entertainment genres, from TV, stage to film, she was nominated for an Oscar and a Golden Globe as Best Supporting Actress in Nashville, while creating memorable movie characters in 9 to 5 and The Incredible Shrinking Woman. Today, Tomlin continues to inspire fans and recently won an Emmy Award for her outstanding voiceover performance in the HBO documentary film An Apology to Elephants. The doc was written by Tomlin's longtime life partner of more than 42 years, Jane Wagner.
Every elephant has a story, and we are part of that story.
What's it like to host tonight?
I'm a little bit trepidatious because I want to do something really good. And at the same time, I'm excited and honored to be asked to be here.
Have you hosted before?
No, I haven't. This is the first time they asked me. Yeah, these are women that I admire tremendously. I've so believed in any feminist principle for many decades and done lots of work in the past, and it's just the time for this group. We've long had a society that was, some people call it patriarchy. Even in the old days, in the 60s, in the hippie days, men were like the creators. They were poets, they were composers. Women had babies and rolled the joints. That was an old deal.
You already got them laughing, Lily. You keep everybody laughing. Is that what you're going to do tonight? You're going to keep everybody laughing?
Oh, I don't know. I hope so.
Lily You have a wonderful documentary that is out.
My partner Jane Wagner and I did a documentary for HBO called An Apology to Elephants, and it's so obviously transparently the victim of abuse, exploitation. It shortens its life. The life it lives in captivity is as a punishing life.
Were you involved in the documentary in terms of shooting on location?
Only conceptually, and I narrated it. Jane, my partner, wrote the narration.
That's a good tidbit. So are we going to see the two of you and your partner getting married anytime soon? Come on.
We sort of talk about it, but I think it would be very low radar.
Nobody's going to know about it. You won't know about it, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the mix with Lily Tomlin, and thanks so much for being with us. Good luck tonight. From one comedic legend to a Hollywood icon. Why is it so important that you support your fellow women in media?
So many of the stories and the interpretation of the stories are determined by men. And the truth is, there are huge issues.
Yeah, Kathleen Turner, actress and avid activist, still has that signature sultry voice, but that's not the only thing that separates her from the masses. That voice, by the way, you could listen to Kathleen Turner's voice. Your voice could sell anything.
Oh, I hope so. I'd like to do more.
When Kathleen hit the big screen in the early 80s, fans were instantly taken by Turner in Body Heat.
You're not too smart, are you?
Turner went on to star in War of the Roses and Romancing the Stone, a film that garnered her with a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress and an off-screen love affair with her co-star Michael Douglas. War of the Roses.
Yes.
That's still, that film, Michael Douglas.
It's a good film.
When you see it, do you ever go by the TV and catch it? Does it bring back? No, never?
No, I don't. I don't really like to watch myself.
Is that true?
No, I like to remember doing it.
Do you have fond memories of Michael Douglas still?
Oh, what do you mean, memories? I think he's great.
I just want to smash your face in. Smash my face.
The affair with Douglas may not have lasted, but the memories made it into Turner's New York Times best-selling memoir, Send Yourself Roses.
I have never taken a film that I have not wanted and loved doing. I keep all my passion and my joy because I love what I do, and that means I have to love the material I'm doing.
Turner's tell-all describes her debilitating battle with rheumatoid arthritis, alcohol dependency, and how she overcame insurmountable life challenges, yet still retains her leading lady status.
I'm doing it in 10 days. Dumb and Dumber 2. They were looking for a Kathleen Turner type. What? And I said, I am a Kathleen Turner type.
Let's make this clear. There's only one Kathleen Turner. So Dumb and Dumber 2, Jeff Daniels, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Have you worked with either of them before?
Jim had his first major role in Peggy Sue Got Married.
No. Why are you?
God, I love that movie.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Looking forward to working with him again?
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Daniels, have you ever worked with him?
No, I've met him, but I haven't worked with him. But
Sweet man, right?
I think so.
So what's the role? What are you going to be doing? Do we know yet?
I'm an old girlfriend.
Turner was genuinely thrilled to win the film role as herself. She'll continue to teach her students at NYU in an effort to keep future generations from getting dumb and dumber.
I've just been to visit a college in the Midwest, and they're telling me that the applications for driver's licenses at 16 is way down because young people don't feel the need to gather together in person. They are together on Facebook, Skyping, tweeting, texting, and the result is we have young people who are less and less skilled in communicating, both in presenting themselves and in reading and understanding others. This is an intriguing difficulty.
When it comes to inspirational, iconic holiday destinations, it doesn't get any better than the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. We want to give a very special thanks to all of our inspirational icons that participated in today's episode. Dr. Ruth, Jane Fonda, Gloria Steinem, Rosario Dawson, Lily Tomlin, Kathleen Turner, and many more. Thank you so much, ladies. Now, if you want to win big this holiday season, log on to inthemixshow.com where you can win big thanks to LG. Find out if you're a grand prize winner. Tune in Thursday, December 26th at 7:30 a.m. and you can find out if you've won our carry-on holiday contest. So happy holidays, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next week in the mix. This week's ITM Celebrity Selfie Shot is brought to you by LG. Life's good. selfie shot with Dr. Ruth.
What's a selfie?
How about I give it to you? So a selfie shot is when you just press it and you take a shot of yourself.
I learned something new.
It's the first time for everyone,
Gina,
right?
you're very good. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we nailed it. You were absolutely
Happy
fantastic.
holidays.
Let's make sure everybody, big round of applause.
Let me have that ball so much.